Hello IP5, welcome to our week 4 review lesson. Hopefully you remember that in week 3 we started English chapter 2 nouns. This week we're going to carry on with nouns and we're going to be looking at singular and plural nouns. You've done that a lot over the last few years, so hopefully you remember. During this lesson, we are going to remind ourselves what singular and plural nouns are, and we are going to review the rules for making plural nouns. Okay, so English Chapter 2, Nouns, Lesson 2, Singular and Plural Nouns. So you should all already know that a singular noun names one person, place, or thing. So we'll look at some examples. Turn off the light. So if I have one light in my room and I ask you to turn it off, I would say turn off the light. I lost my textbook. Something that I don't like it when students tell me. So if they tell me I lost my textbook, I think that they have lost one textbook. She broke the guitar. Again, we know that she broke one guitar because we have a singular noun. And you should also know that a plural noun names more than one person or place or thing. So with a singular noun, we know there's exactly one. With a plural noun, we just know more than one. So it could be 2, could be 30, could be 7, could be 1,000,000, we don't know. But we know that there is more than one person, place, or thing. So these examples, turn off the lights. If I say turn off the lights, you know I want you to turn off all of the lights, more than one. I lost my textbooks. If a student tells me I lost my textbooks, that means they've lost more than one. So they're very, very silly. And she broke the guitars. Somehow she broke more than one guitar. So, making plural nouns is usually very easy. For most singular nouns, we can turn them into plural nouns simply by adding the letter S to the end. So we've got some examples. You should know what a sock is. Sock means one sock. Socks means more than one sock. We just add S to the noun. Jersey, like a t-shirt that you wear for playing sport. One jersey, we just say jersey. More than one, we say jerseys. Hospital, again, if there's more than one hospital, we add S to make it plural, hospitals. And expert, hope you know what expert means. An expert is someone who knows lots and lots about a subject or a topic. So I like to think that I am an expert in English. So to make expert plural, we add S, experts. Sometimes it's a little bit more difficult than just adding S. If a noun ends with S, sh, ch, or x, we need to add es to make it plural. So we'll look at these examples. The noun glass. You can see that the last letter in the noun glass is S. So we don't add another S to make that plural, because then it just say glass. We add es, glasses. So if you have 2 glasses of water, you say glasses, not glass. Dish ends with sh. So again, we add es, dishes. Finch. A finch is a type of bird. It ends with ch, so we add es to make it plural. And the noun fox ends with the letter X, so again we make that plural by adding es, not just s. We also need to know that if a noun ends with a consonant and y, first you need to change the y at the end of the word to an I, and then you add es. I hope you all know by now in IP5 that a consonant is a letter which is not a vowel. Vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. So if the letter before the Y is a letter other than A, E, I, O, U, then it is a consonant, and then we need to change Y to I. So let's look at these examples. Library. Library ends with RY. Y is obviously the last letter, and R, the letter before it, is a consonant because it's not A, it's not E, it's not I, it's not O, it's not U, it's an R. It's a consonant. So when we make our plural form of the noun library, we take away the Y, we add an I, and then we add ES. So we have libraries. Libraries. No Y in that plural noun. Raspberry. Raspberry is a fruit. And again, that word ends with RY. So again, we take away the Y, add I, then add ES. Raspberries. 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 Firefly. Firefly is an insect, a fly that emits its own light. That noun ends with LY. L is a consonant, then we've got the Y. So again, change Y to I, add ES. Fireflies. FIREFLIES. And party. Hopefully you all have been to a party. Party ends with TY. T is a consonant, then we've got Y. So again, IES. Parties. PARTIES. One thing that you need to make sure you remember, you only change Y to I if the letter before Y is a consonant. If the letter before Y is a vowel, so is A, E, I, O, or U, you just add S as normal. I've seen lots of students make this mistake where they see the letter Y at the end of a noun and think, oh, I need to change that to I. But you need to look at the letter before Y first to make sure. So the noun play, not like play football because that's a verb, but play like I went to see a play. A play is like people acting on a stage. So the noun play ends with AY. A is a vowel. A-E-I-O-U, A. Then you've got Y. So you just add S to the noun. Plays, P-L-A-Y-S. Birthday, again, ends with A-Y. A is a vowel, just add S. Birthdays. Valley, again, ends with E-Y. So valleys. And joy ends with O-Y, just add S. So make sure you check both the last letter and the letter before the last letter. Now the next couple of things we're going to do get a bit more tricky because the rules do not always apply. So sometimes if a noun ends in F or FE, we change F to V and then add ES. But we don't do that for all nouns ending in F or FE. Sometimes you just have to add S as normal. So this is a bit trickier. You need to know which nouns you change F to V and which nouns you do not. So this is a bit harder. There's no easy rules to follow. So let's look at these examples. Wife. Do you know wife? Wife, like husband and wife. Husband and wife are two people who are married. Husband is the man, wife is the woman. So if there's more than one wife, then we change F to V. So wives. Life. So say you're playing a video game and you have like 3 little hearts that show how many lives you've got. You don't say lives, you say lives. So again, the F becomes a V. Calf. A calf is a baby cow. And again, we change F to V and add ES. And one that you're probably familiar with, leaf. The leaves on a tree. We don't say leaves, we say leaves. L-E-A-V-E-S. A thief, someone who steals something. We change that F to V, E-S. Half, like 2 halves. We again change the F to a V. So those are some that I want you to remember. But you also need to be careful because we do not always change F to V. The noun cliff. A cliff is like a big rock, and the edge of the rock where you can look down, that is a cliff edge. But cliff, when we make it plural, we just add s. We don't do cliffers, we just do cliffs. Belief, like I have a belief in something. If you have more than one belief, you just say beliefs. Believes is actually a verb. Cuff. A cuff is like the edge of your sleeve. Then that is also, when we make it plural, cuffs. We don't change anything to be. And roof, the roof on your head. This is something that people actually get wrong. I've seen people, even people who are native English speakers, who come from England or America and speak English every day, sometimes they say roofs, but we don't say roofs, it's roofs. The plural of roof is roofs. So be very careful with this because, as I say, even native English speakers sometimes get this wrong. We also need to be careful with nouns that end with a consonant and O, because sometimes we just add S and sometimes we add ES. So again, it's hard to tell which one is which. So a solo. Solo means like one person playing an instrument. So more than one solo is solos, S-L-O-S. Piano, you know what a piano is? If you've got more than one piano, just add S, pianos. But then hero, like superhero, you add ES. Echo, like, do you know echo? Like when a sound echoes, like echo, echo, echo. More than one echo, we add ES. You should know tomato. You don't say tomatoes, T-O-M-A-T-O-S. It's tomatoes, like the toes on your feet. And same with potatoes. More than one potato, you add ES. So again, that is a bit harder to remember. There's no easy rule for you to follow. You just have to learn these words and know when to add S and when to add ES. If a noun ends with a vowel and O, you just add S as normal. So the ones that we just looked at, they end with a consonant and O, like L-O-N-O-R-O-H-O-T-O-T-O. They all ended with consonant and O. But if it's a vowel and O, always just add S. So studio ends with I-O, you add an S. Radio ends with I-O, add an S. Rodeo ends with E-O, add an S. Do you know what a rodeo is? A rodeo is like a place where cowboys play on horses and cows and stuff, chase bulls. Probably don't really get those in Thailand that much. Okay. As well as remembering those unusual rules, some don't follow any rules at all. So their plural forms are spelled completely differently to their singular forms. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these because you've probably seen it before. I know we did all of these in IP3. I've just done a video for IP4, same ones in the textbook. So hopefully by now you know these irregular nouns. So I'll just read them quickly. Person becomes people, you don't say persons. Woman becomes women. Man becomes men. Child becomes children. If you've got more than one mouse, you have mice, one tooth, or teeth. If you've got 1 foot on your left leg, 1 foot on your right leg, that's 1 foot, 1 foot. Together you have 2 feet. A goose is a bird, and more than one goose is geese. And one that you might not know, ox is an animal, and more than one ox is oxen. So hopefully you know those already. As well as those ones that we've just looked at, where the plural is spelled completely differently to the singular, some irregular nouns, the plural and the singular are spelled exactly the same. So that can be a little bit confusing. Again, you've probably seen most of these before. All of the examples I have here are animals. So you could have 1 deer or 2 deer. You don't say deers. Moose, a moose is a big animal. But again, it doesn't matter whether you've got 1 or 10, you just have moose. Sheep, again, you've probably seen sheep before. I could say there's 1 sheep, I could say there's 40 sheep. Fish, again, you might have 1 fish for your lunch, or you can see lots of fish in the ocean. Trout, trout is a species of fish. And again, 1 trout, 5 trout, doesn't matter. The noun is the same whether it is singular or whether it is plural. Okay, IP5, that is the end of our presentation. I'm just going to explain this week's homework to you. Hopefully you will find it quite easy. So, section 1, very simple. I'll be disappointed if I see anyone get any of these questions wrong. Decide whether the underlined noun is singular or plural. So read the sentence. Number 1, people get older every day. Look at the underlined noun, people. Is people singular or plural? Everyone should know whether that is singular or plural. So if you think it's singular, write singular on this line. If you think it's plural, write plural on this line. Section 2 is a bit more difficult, but again, you've learned all of these rules already many times. So by now, I expect all of you to be able to do this. So we need to turn the singular nouns into plural nouns. So you've got 15 singular nouns. Using the rules that we have just learned, write the plural form. Very easy, I think. Okay, IP5, that is the end of this week's lesson. I hope you've all understood. I hope you're all doing well, and I will speak to you again next week when we will start another new chapter. So for now, bye-bye IP5.